I've received a letter from a young chap that I know, James Rhodes, who used to work at the Courthouse Hotel here in Dubbo. James enlisted in the 3rd Battalion on August 26, 1914. He was born in New Zealand, but I guess I can't hold that against him. Anyway, he wrote to tell me about his experience of landing at 4 a.m. in the first landing of Gallipoli. The letter has been published in the Dubbo Liberal. What we have done since leaving Australia, I suppose, is well known by you all. The papers will give you full accounts of our doings. But in any case, I will give you a few particulars of the Australians' baptism of fire on the Dardanelles. After lying in a well-sheltered bay off the Isle of Lennox, the transports conveying the troops weighed anchor, and under escort of several battleships, destroyers and etc., we set out for the Gulf of Pharos, which we reached about 4 a.m. on Sunday, April 25th. It was just breaking day, and large hills running particularly down to the water's edge could dimly be discerned. The cruisers went in as close as possible and opened fire onto forts and the enemy's trenches on the hillsides. Disembarking, the troops were immediately concerned. The task appeared a difficult and a dangerous one, and our men soon realised what it meant, but it was good to see how calmly they took it. We were loaded into destroyers and taken to about a quarter of a mile from the water's edge, when we disembarked into rowboats. Then the fun really commenced. Machine guns and rifles were fired upon us, and shrapnel screamed over our heads. Bang! Down goes a boat about 10 feet in our rear. Fortunately, none were killed, and all were picked up by the picket boat. We gained the shore safely, and under cover of hillside, with bayonets fixed, we advanced to a gully. Here we rested for a few minutes, and over the crest of the hill, number 1, we went. Here we saw the work done by the naval guns. Dead and wounded Turks were lying around, and T. San, one of our AMC men, dressing a wounded Turk's arm. Well, we advanced steadily towards hill number 2, taking advantage of a gully which afforded fairly good cover, but not without its dangers. Snipers were about by the dozens and had already accounted for a few of our officers and men. Eventually we arrived at the summit of the hill. Over the hill we charged. The enemy immediately opened fire with machine guns and caught a few of us before we gained the trenches. Then the fun commenced. Thousands of rifles and machine guns spat out the leaden message of death. Big guns poured shrapnel over us at the rate of 14 every 3 minutes. Of course, we could only reply with rifle fire, as our artillery had still to be unloaded. We were continually being reinforced, but the enemy made several attacks on us with greatly superior numbers, but we repulsed them every time. Not an inch of ground did we retreat. It was on Monday afternoon I got my lot. One struck me about the knee and went up to my thigh and out again. The bullet's exit is a hole big enough to put an egg in. Another got me on the other thigh, but only went in about 2 inches and out again. It is better now. A third took a piece of leather out of my boot clean as a whistle. So, taking all things into consideration, I was jolly lucky. I will soon be convalescent again and hope to join my comrades in the firing line very shortly. Latest reports to hand show that steady progress is being made, and the heads are more than satisfied the way the Australians fought. No doubt the boys have done well. They fought like Trojans, and we were cheerful right through the trying ordeal. Though we are winning, it is sad to think of the dead and the wounded. This place is full of the wounded, and it makes one feel ill to see some of the terrible gashes some of our poor fellows have got. But such is war. There you are. Now I must shut up, as it's nearly lights out.